How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. Now, Andrew Wilson is one of the top debaters on the internet, and I have listened to him. If you haven't, you'll find him a lot on the Crucible channel, which we are on right now, or the whatever podcast arguing with those three or fours. Now, there is this gentleman or this guy who calls himself Hang Lo Wang or something like that. You'll just see his name shortly. He is what is described as a super donor, and by a super donor I mean sperm donor. Now, this guy has fathered over 400 children that he knows of. Now, he came on to the Crucible for this debate, so I'm going to be reacting to what is going to be said here, and just off the bat, I can let you know that it doesn't start well or end well, because Andrew Wilson, being a Christian, really doesn't agree with this. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Well, my opening statement's super simple. Hung Lo Wang, you're a degenerate and a man prostitute, essentially, and you're engaging in prostitution. There's no way you're not engaging in prostitution, and you're leaving behind a bunch of single mothers, oftentimes lesbians. A terrible outcome for your children, which in my book makes you a scumbag, and I can't wait to dive into this debate.
And Hung Lo too.
With that kind of introduction, you already know where he stands. You know, it's very clear. What has he said? Is it actually the fact? We'll listen in and we'll find out slowly by slowly, because I'm going to have a more nuanced approach to it, because there are many arguments to be had other than just straight up, this is my religion and I don't like what you're doing. There is more to it than that, but let's continue.
You opening statement. Now they're making theirs short and sweet. You do have a few minutes if you want to take time.
Well, let me begin by giving you a little background. I never intended to get myself into to any of this. When I was in college, I got a job working for a Chippendale subcontractor up near Washington, D.C. I was in business school, and I was just trying to pay my tuition. So first, our manager sold us off as models. You know, I think we did like the Pride Parade one year, stuff like that. And then it turned into birthday parties, bachelorette parties, and more and more, our clientele was typically lesbian women. And to me, you know, I didn't understand why. I was young. I was, 18, 19, 20 years old. But now I can kind of look back on it 20 years ago and say, all right, so that was the market factor.
Prattling degen, dude.
Either the IVF clinics or,
I hope he hurries up.
Facebook and various websites like the Known Donor Registry. If you go the IVF route, there's no possibility for the child to ever meet the father. The other routes, it's possible. For some reason, a lot of the women don't prefer that, but if, the child ever wants the option to meet the father, the IVF clinics in the United States don't offer that. I think in maybe Australia that's a possibility, but that's issue complaint number one amongst donor conceived persons. They get a little older, usually around age 5, the child starts asking about the father, and then by the time they're a teenager and an adult, they really want to know the other half of their background, brothers, sisters, extended family. Not that they even want to know about the father, but they want to know about the family, the medical history. So suppose in the donor realm, you've got opportunities that do not exist when we're dealing with IVF clinics or the cryo industry.
Yeah.
Now, I need you guys to understand something, because he's explained himself. So why he started it, not this particular sperm donation, but he started doing sexual events and deals when he was young, so to speak, to pay the bills. That's what every 3 or 4 claims, every stripper, every this, that I am paying for tuition, my mother is sick, whatever the excuses may be. But personally, when I've done something horrible or something I'm not proud of, I don't go around trying to excuse it. I just say, oh, that was a horrible mistake. Well, he said that, but up to this date, he's still contributing to this so-called horrible situation. So let's continue and see exactly what happens after the debate begins.
Like to just kind of dive right into this. So, Mr. Hung Lo, how many children do you have total?
In the United States, that number is around a dozen. I try not
Just
to give an
total.
exact
Just
number,
total. How many do you have total?
the rumor I'm getting out of the research firm in Hong Kong is 400.
Yeah. So what's the total though? Like roughly the total.
I don't have the ability to confirm that number in Asia because I'm dealing with multiple fertility corporations in Asia.
Notice one thing: when somebody doesn't give you a straight answer, always know that they're either lying or obfuscating or not giving you the full truth. So let's just find out why he's being not straight.
Across multiple countries, Japan, Korea, China, Singapore. I can't give you an exact number.
Could it be okay? Can you give me a range?
The last information I got out of Hong Kong was they had estimated 400 DNA matches.
Okay, so at least 400 is what you assume at this point safely?
That's the number they're touting in Asia. They've called me the barbarian.
Okay, gotcha. So, quick couple of follow-ups. Do you give a shit about any of these kids at all?
Absolutely. I actually got a contact about 2 years ago from a teenage daughter in Japan, and since then I've reached out in an attempt to expand real estate operations in Japan, try to get Redfin and Zillow into the Japanese market. So, maybe I could give my daughter a future in real estate in Hokkaido, managing real estate sales and marketing for U.S. firms like Zillow.
Let's be honest, he doesn't really care. You can't really care about 400 individuals. It doesn't matter whether they are children or not. There just isn't enough time in the day for you to take care or care about 400 people, let alone people you just fertilized their mother and disappeared. You've never talked. What I am 100% sure, because here is giving an example of one, but what about the other 399 or more? Because we don't know how many there are in total now, do we? Now, that's the biggest issue here for me, especially because when you're giving birth to children, often you have to be there for them to turn out correctly. So this guy has spread his seed out there and he's left us so many gangsters to deal with across the world.
That was the idea. But
Yeah,
I absolutely do care.
You do care about them. And how many of these children end up in single mother households?
In the United States, I've currently got that issue with 2 out of about a dozen, and it's something I've spoken with these women about indefinitely. The average divorce on the lesbian divorces appears to be about 7 years. When the child hits age 5, they start asking for the father, and that's a roadblock in the relationship. That
What is the intervention that you do when you find out that your kid is being raised by a single mom?
I maintain contact.
You maintain contact?
Yeah.
So both of these kids' names?
Yeah, all of my children in the U.S. get to see me and talk to me whenever they want. That's why the number is about a dozen.
You don't want to pay for them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Oh, got it.
Right. So
Now, we all know that this guy doesn't have the capacity to intervene in most of these children. So maybe if someone is around or nearby, he might put some effort. But really what he is a donor. He's a material donor, DNA material donor. That's exactly what his job is. It is hustle. So we can't really expect, in my opinion, for such a person to be taking responsibility for these children, because to begin with, he wasn't involved in that way. He was just a donor. He was giving them genetic material for them to get pregnant, and they move on.
Of help to these kids who are being raised by single mothers, even though they're your kids. Yeah, just so I can give you some stats, I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. From the single mother category, 90% of homeless kids, single mother. 89% of children admitted to psychiatric hospitals, single mother. 85% of children with behavioral disorders, single mother. 71% of children in substance abuse treatment centers, single mother. 70% in juvenile correction facilities, all forms of child abuse are at least prevalent among homes with both both married bio parents by a factor of 8 times or more, meaning that you're 8 times more likely in a single mother home to experience abuses as well. So when you say, oh, these kids can contact me with what? Do they get to contact you and say, hey, gee, dad, mom doesn't take care of me and has strange men who come over and fuck her at night? What do you say to them, bro? Do you do anything to assist these children at all?
So about 2 years ago, the area of Florida I live in had a major hurricane that killed about 200 people on the beach, and destroyed the homes of one of my children and his mother's. So they came to stay with me for about 4 months. But
were you having sex with either of them when they came and stayed with you?
I maintain adult relationships with the mothers of my children.
So okay. So
let's be clear about this guy. He's transactional. What we are seeing here is a man who's taking the opportunity that was offered to him on transaction. Because all relationships these days, at least, they are held up by transactions. If you're able to pay, you might be able to keep her. If you're not able to pay, she will leave or get someone better or cheat on you, whatever the case may be. So this guy, I don't totally agree with what he's doing, but he is a product of the environment and the culture. And that's why, okay, you can be angry or you want, Andrew, but he is a product of the culture. And he seems, at least in my opinion, to be very comfortable with his decisions. We'll listen some more and find out exactly what that is. But yeah, I think so.
So when your kid's house got shut down for whatever this external reason was, it was nice that you allowed his mom to come stay with you so that you could her, right? Isn't that what you're saying here?
I maintain adult relationships with the mothers of my children indefinitely. So
does that mean you're the mothers of your children? Is that what that?
He's already said that he maintains those relationships with Andrew. Come on now, you know what it means.
Means okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So they came to stay with you because it's a booty call. So they stayed in your house. You were humping the mom. You don't have to pay a dime, and then they leave. How exactly is this assisting the child?
My kids get to see me whenever they want.
Yeah, how is it? How do you assist them, though, through financials, through assisting in their school? For instance, number 2 kid, do you know the name of the school he goes to? Or she?
Yeah, absolutely.
And have you paid a dime towards any of the school tuition, any of the school backpacks, anything like this?
Lots of holiday gifts, birthday gifts, lots of vacations together.
That's not my question.
Can we be a bit more serious about this? That is not within his job description here. He's a sperm donor. So he gave them material, but then of course a lot of this, they want to keep contact if he wants to. Maybe he likes the mom is hot, she can give him some punani, as you can see. Maybe that, but that's totally from his will, because when these arrangements are made to begin with, he's not meant to be there being the father. They want the genetic material, pure, simple, and basic. So trying to saddle him with, oh, do you take care of them? Do you see them? And what? It doesn't make sense. And it should, at least in my opinion, tell them that I am not responsible for the child after I've donated. And I think that kind of honesty is better, in my opinion.
Can you answer the question I asked you?
So what, you mean like $20 for a backpack?
Yeah, I'm asking, do you buy school clothes for them? Are you assisting them with their health care needs? Are they on your insurance? Like, what are you doing for these kids, bro, that are yours, that you love and care about so much?
So during the day, I do some...
He doesn't love or care for them. He's a sperm donor. I have to repeat this. There's no feelings for these children. I think in his position right now, he feels like he has to play to the gallery instead of just saying straight up what it is. No, for me, I give them genetic material and they go away. I am not responsible otherwise. Whatever happened to contracts and saying what you mean and meaning what you say? Because this is what it is. I'm not talking about the morality of it all, because that's what Andrew is talking about. I am talking about the facts on the ground. They seek him out for his seed. Now, if you're not going to give these women the responsibility as adults for making this decision, that's up to you, Andrew. But they were adults asking this man to give them a child. What do you think? Is just going to ignore it? He didn't ignore it. He decided to take advantage of it. I don't know if he gets paid. I suspect he does.
capital management, and I frequently trade accounts for the mothers of my children. So, you know, on a good week, I make the right trade. You know, a quarter mil split 12 ways. Not too bad.
Okay, you taking money from these women and then doing day trading on their dime again, where you, again, no risk liability to you at all, and you might potentially make them some money, is not supporting your kids. It's risking the money of their mothers, in fact, right? Isn't that what that's actually doing? You're literally risking their mother's money on behalf of some trade you think might work out for you. What is your actual risk here?
Before he continues, let me say something. That is what I find very uncomfortable, because he's behaving like a con man now. So he's taking advantage of them in addition to that. And I suspect it's because they are attracted to him sexually and he can do what he wants with them. And that's why it's that. I think that's scumbag behavior.
I've got to say, this situation has certainly limited my financial liability.
So no risk.
Seems that way.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't understand how on the one side of your mouth, and I'll turn this over to my partner here in a second, but I don't understand how on the one side of your mouth you can say, oh, I care so much about these kids. Oh, it's great. Their moms. But even I'll even day trade with their money. I love day trading with their money. And if I lose it all, well, I have no liability, no big deal whatsoever. I don't have to pay anything for these children. Meanwhile, I love them so much that I'll leave them inside of a single mother household. Right? You're not exactly fighting for custody to get them out of those single mother households. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, I would never attempt to take my child away from their mother.
Yeah, you'd never attempt to mitigate the risk by 90% for homelessness, for instance, 89%, children admitted to psychiatric hospitals. You'd never try to mitigate any.
This is the thing, Andrew. You need to understand one thing. It is not his fault that all these things have happened. Well, he's adding to them 400 kids deep. But it's not his fault. It's the society that decided that women can do what they want. They're free and they are sexually liberated and they can raise kids by themselves. It doesn't matter how much damage is done. It is liberation. So I'm not going to be coming hard on this guy or coming down hard on this guy while we can see that we've been told, it's been hammered to us, because this is what I actually want to happen. I want things to go to hell, so that people can appreciate that there are many, many good things that come out of having the setup that has raised many, many generations of great men and women. That's what needs to happen, because right now everybody thinks they can just get away with it. The women are being given even more and more power. They are destroying the society and themselves. They are destroying the children. But it's this one guy, not the 400 women that have chased his seed, that we should really be castigating. This is the point where I drew my distinction from Andrew, because he wants to go on the religious, oh, everybody needs to do this in my religious way. No, we can use the data. You can say, yes, it's bad. But why is it bad at this particular moment? It's because people sat around as feminism took over. You gave women all the power that they needed to not only kill the children in their wombs, to not only divorce when they want, be promiscuous. You did all that. Society did all that. So this guy here, Huang Lo, he's as a result of that. He's the perfect result of what you've done to men for all these decades. And I lean more on this. He's a scumbag, yes, but I'm not going to lay everything on him while he found a situation where women want to be transactional. This is the results of a transactional relationship through and through. There is nothing you can say about it that is not true. That is what happens when you become transactional. So as far as I am concerned, I really don't care about the moral cries as much as trying to make sure that things are solved first. The causative agents, the causative reasons why this guy is able to do this have to be solved if you don't want guys like this to exist. Otherwise, they will always exist. And they will always have their way, because most of them are good looking. You see, like, he's smart, he looks fit, he doesn't look fat and all that. And then maybe he's good looking, I can't be sure. Do you think he's good looking? Whatever the case, he has over 400 women who wanted his seed. Now he's cashed in on that, so what are we going to do? Are we just going to stop? What do you mean? I mean, Are we going to pretend that he's a horrible person for taking advantage while you have not gone to the courts to change the rules or the laws that are making men suffer? This guy doesn't have any financial liabilities, and it's actually beautiful that he's able to pull that off. The guy is in jail for missing child support payments. He has 400 kids and doesn't owe a dime to them. He decides if he wants to spend on them or not. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a really, other than the 400 kids, it's a really a perfect place to be. Because what are we talking about now? We are talking about people finally getting to see, oh, every woman has become a 3 or 4. The men don't care anymore. They can sire as many kids as they want, and they'll just walk away and they don't care. Why? Because you've instituted this feminism and these Western ideologies that are being spread across the world, destroying families. So now you have to deal with the devil you created. And as far as I'm concerned, he's winning.
That risk for your biological offspring, right?
Well, hold on now. You mentioned homelessness. Now, I just told you a 22-foot storm surge destroyed my child's home, and I provided them with a home.
No, you
4 months.
provided them with a place where you could their mom.
Why does he have to do it for free? Yeah, he can get the punani too. I mean, he's offering them a home. He did not commit to housing them or being the father. Right now, since you're coming because of this emergency, yes, I need some punani or you pay up. Yes, I'm going to be that a-hole.
That's what their mom wants.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not providing a home for a child. That's not what a home for a child is. A home for a child has a mommy and a daddy that love them and are taking good care of them. That's what a home is. A home is not a place where you go for a booty call with a baby daddy. That's not what home, dude. And what?
Okay, fine. Yes, I get that he's mad about it. But if you can look at the comment there, Andrew, this is the equality these women demanded. They demanded. That is the equality they should have to pay into the care for their kids. And can I tell you something? This is one of the best comments I've read about this. When you ask for something, as I was speaking earlier, and you get it, and you don't like the results, I'm sorry, guys like Andrew who are religious, they have overlooked everything else. Oh, the data, this, yes, but what created that data is removing the father from the home. You normalized it. So single mothers are more than married couples. So you normalize that, and this guy has taken advantage because people have to make money and people do all kinds of things. You're having millions and millions of men paying into OnlyFans accounts. Married men, all types of men. Who are we virtue signaling for or to? Because if you want to improve the society, you start by abolishing the feminism ideologies that have been laced all around all institutions. You have to remove that before you tell men to sacrifice some more. Because it's like they have not sacrificed enough. I personally like Andrew, and I am actually a fan of Andrew. But I totally disagree with it because he's married. By the way, he is married and he took the leap and married a single mother who'd been married and all that. And he did all that. Big up, he has kids, whatever. That's his decision. But he doesn't get to tell other men how to live. Other men like myself will never marry a single mother. And there's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to convince me to do that. But he did. So he compromised on something. So this guy, this other guy, he has many kids. That's what he wants. And the women are willing participants. 90% vagrancy rate notwithstanding. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this video. Please leave a comment down below. And of course, tell me know if you like the new presentation. I'm trying out things. You know, we have to try out to become more creative. Hopefully, it entertains you more. I don't know how you like that avatar and the little lighting going on over there. Yeah, I'm trying a little things, you know what I'm saying. So please leave a comment down below. Like the video, share the video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more. And until next time, peace.